Ask 4 men in their 20s what they're passionate about, and you're likely to hear sports, music, anything with an engine, and women. Passions are important to guys, and Darren Day is no different. Ask Darren what he's passionate about, and you'll hear Darren has been fascinated with public transportation since he was very young. Trains, buses, ferries, planes. If it moves people, Darren loves it. On December 10th, 2006, Darren Day started a new life. A life that saw him move into a new home he owns to begin a new life based on his dreams and his passions.
Just amazing. It's just, you just have no idea. He's just got a permanent smile on his face. He always seems to be happy. There doesn't seem to be any of this agitation or anything like that. I'm really happy.
As you would guess, Darren's mother Diana is ecstatic with how much Darren's life has changed in such a short period. It was less than 2 years ago that Darren lived in a group home and would call her daily crying and begging to come home. So with Darren stuck in conditions his mother felt were substandard and living with people he didn't get along with, Diana decided it was time to take a completely different approach.
And it's taken me, 27 years to finally just say, I've had enough. And I want Darren to have more control over his life and have it be about Darren.
The first thing Diana did, with the support of CLBC, was to gather a small group of family and friends to form a microboard for Darren. The microboard made it possible for Darren to receive support dollars so that he could purchase the services he needed directly. With the microboard in place, Darren moved into a rental home and began a life focused specifically on his needs. The microboard arranged service from Integra Support Services, an organization with a strong focus on person-centered planning, and Darren's life took a turn for the better. But Diana and the microboard didn't stop there. They applied on Darren's behalf to an affordable housing project just outside of Victoria. Well, it took some persistence. They finally got the news they were waiting for. Darren Day was a homeowner. The changes in him were tangible and immediate.
Oh, he's changed so much. His mood, he's calmed down a lot. He has barely any moments of escalation. He's just happy. He's such a happy guy now. Not saying he wasn't before, but he's always smiling now. He's talking a lot more. Just his form of communications have expanded greatly.
It would be easy to attribute Darren's success to a new home with new furniture in a new neighborhood. And while his home is beautiful, the most significant change has been the people in his life and their attitudes towards him. One of the first things you notice when you meet Darren's support team is their age. All of them are close to Darren's age, and they all share similar attitudes and an appreciation and respect for who Darren is.
I think the greatest description would be like the friendly giant. He's just always happy. He's super easy to get along with, easygoing, always happy, always smiling, and just always talking about trains and planes and buses, eh, buddy?
These positive attitudes weren't always the case. In his group home placements, there were an inordinate number of reports on Darren's aggressive incidents, and some staff complained of fearing him. One key reason for the positive relationships is that Darren's assistants work 48-hour shifts each week. This means for 2 straight days, Darren is with the same person. It's much more of a life-sharing situation, rather than a worker completing a shift. It's great for Darren, and it's great for his assistants.
I think it's because you have more of a chance to get on a much more personal level with them. Like living on a 48-hour shift and spending as much time with him as you do, he becomes like a really close friend because you're always doing things together and you really get to know his personality. You really get like a feel for who he is as a person.
I feel it adds consistency in Darren's life. He doesn't have the breakup of 3 different shifts in a day, so he can plan his day and go for the whole day. He doesn't have to make sure he's home for 3 o'clock for shift change. I think it just adds consistency and continuity, and I think it makes the house run more home-like also.